Hi, everybody. This is Steve Maggi from SMA Law Firm. Welcome to Building the Bridge. My guest today is business and tech lawyer Ann Wolfson in New York. Hi, Ann. How are you?
Hi, Steve. Great. How are you?
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
So, I'm a foreign entrepreneur and I want to test the US market. I've heard this term stealth launch. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, stealth launches are kind of cool. I want to be very clear. This is not about avoiding the law, avoiding the right way to do it, but launching in the US correctly takes time and a lot of effort. And you might not be launching in the right way. You might invest all this time and money in launching and discover that you haven't done it the right way. It might take you a while to figure out who's your market and where's your market. So I have clients who do pilot or test projects with a single customer. They might work with a single vendor. There are a lot of different ways of doing it. And I often will say to them, look, let's take 3 months or 6 months and just figure out if this is what you want to do. Let's take some time. Maybe you do have a client or you have some relationships that you want to start encouraging and cultivating. Let's not set up a company yet. What it means is that taking payment is going to be a little bit complicated, but it will be less complicated if you decide not to do it that way, or you decide that you want to approach the market in a different way, than if you have to unwind all of this and, you know, set up in a new state or close the office and set up a new office someplace else. So it is a good way to do this. You can call it a stealth launch. You can call it testing the market. You can call it collecting market intelligence. There are a lot of ways to do it. Some more formal, some less formal. But when a client is not certain and hasn't done the work from home, and it isn't always possible to do the work from home,
Right.
but when they haven't done the work yet because they really feel it's important to come here and see what's going on, I encourage them to do that, but to do it for a limited period of time. They can do it on certain, forgive me, Steve, I'm going to get the names of these programs wrong, but there's certain immigration programs that allow people to come in and out for a limited period of time to do exactly that, to sort of test things out.
Business visitors, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what it was because I'm not an immigration lawyer. And there are ways for people from some countries to do this, to, develop relationships, figure out what the right thing is to do, because even with the internet, even with various video platforms and email and, whatever, nothing beats meeting in person. That is the best way to figure out what's going on and who you want to work with. And that it's costly and it's time consuming. And sometimes it is absolutely the most efficient way to do it, but it does take time. And I really recommend everybody develop relationships here, test the waters, talk to people, figure out things before you start taking the steps of setting up an entity, getting a tax ID, getting an accountant, getting a bank account, doing all of those things that might not be right for you. You might need to wait 2 years, and then you have to deal with all of these other regulatory things while you don't really have any activity in the US. So yeah, I do recommend that for limited periods of time.
I know that both of us work with companies and organizations that help do market research, that help connect people in certain markets and certain verticals. That's also really important too, is to find the right people on the ground who know how to do the market research to help these individuals or these companies to test the waters before they take these legal steps and set up their companies, like you said, because once you've set it up, dissolving it and unwinding is an expense and it's a pain.
Yeah, I've actually found that with some of my clients, particularly the ones who actually make stuff, like industrial equipment, going to trade shows in the US and joining trade organizations are really great ways of figuring out what's going on as it applies to you. And I find that those companies are the ones that can launch, on a sharper, steeper path, and really develop traction much faster because they have the connections through these trade associations and these trade groups.
A great suggestion. So for somebody who's interested in potentially doing a a stealth launch, and they want to talk to an expert about it, how would they reach you, Anne?
Email's best. It's Anne@annewolfson.com, ANNE at ANNEWOLFSON.com.
Fantastic. Thanks for all your knowledge today and for your time. And
My pleasure. Thanks, Steve.